Fistula is a serious disease. You probably have heard of it. Fistula, anal fistula I'm talking about. It is an abscess in the beginning that's inside your anus. You can see that there's some lump inside your anus, 1 inch maybe upward, and it's painful. You may have discovered that when you are passing school, it's hurting you. It's painful even after half an hour, 2 hours, 1 hour after your stool passing bowel movement. It happens. So if it happens like that, you can go to a doctor. The doctor will use a finger, can use a machine, and that's how the doctor can identify that you have an abscess inside your anal cavity. And if it happens like that, if it is within 21 days, you can easily recover from it if you have antibiotics. Antibiotics are not good for health, they are very dangerous, and as fistula is very much dangerous, you can have it. And when you're having antibiotics, you may find that the problem is no, it's not gone. So don't stop within 7 days or 10 days. You can go up to 20 days, and if the problem is really solved, then it's all right for you. And if it doesn't, then what happens within 21 days, you should recover from it. And if you fail to do it, what you should do is you go to a doctor, you have it operated. Operation is very nice in the beginning because it's so painful. The longer you keep it in your body, the worse it gets, and it gets more painful, and the bacteria that have affected the disease become very strong and very dangerous. So what's better is that if you have this problem, you get it operated. Operation is not that difficult in the beginning. Maybe 1 or 2 days you will have the washing, and that's painful. The doctor will have local anesthesia there, and it will not be painful. In the beginning it's not that difficult, not so painful. So the brushing, the washing, the following days may be a little problem, 1 or 2 or 3 days. That's a problem, is painful. But if you keep this disease, then it is horrible. You can't have a peaceful life. It's so painful, so horrible, so devastating, so uncomfortable. After you pass the stool, maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours later, the pain comes back, and it is horrible. It's like burning something. Maybe your anus has been ignited, has been set on fire like that. So it's horrible. So what I want to say is that as I had this 5.5 years ago, I had antibiotics in the beginning, and it was not for so many days, for just 5 or 7 days, and I found that it was okay. Later the problem came back. So I wanted to go for operation. I went to a doctor. The doctor was very young, and he didn't have many certificates. I was not that much happy with the doctor, so I did not have it operated the following day. So what I did is I met my doctor friend, and he said that operation is the last resort. So what you do is I'll take you to a great doctor. I'm a doctor at the same time, so we together can try best to solve your problem. So according to his words, I stopped it, and he took me to a doctor, and she gave me homeo medicines, and they worked very well. But unfortunately, after 80% recovery, 90% recovery, the problem did not go away. So it was something really uncomfortable, so painful. And after having medicines for long, I got actually, careless. Only I got careless, then the fistula again came back, revived seriously. So by this way, for 5 years or 4.5 years, I suffered heavily, seriously, but I didn't go for operation. What I did is, after 4.5 years, I stopped medicines. When I started following lifestyle, it's true, earlier because of my diabetes, but when I stopped medicines, what happened is that the fistula was removed, was cured. So for 8 or 9 months, my fistula is gone. I hope there'll be no problem in future. I hope it's all gone. So it's all because of lifestyle. Lifestyle, I already gave a lot of videos, uploaded a lot of videos. So what I mean is that you have to follow, if you are a Muslim, the same way you can follow lifestyle. In Islam, you have Iman, that is belief. So what it means? It means that you believe in God, Allah, you believe in His Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? And in terms of health, you should not have medicine. You will understand that. You will believe that medicine doesn't work. Medicine rather aggravates the disease. It's something like taking loan from a bank. You took a loan of maybe $1 million, right, dollars, and later you have to pay with some interest, right? It's horrible. So the same thing, if you take medicine won't work. Medicine will little bit ease your problem in the beginning, but later it will not actually help you. It will even poison, right? It's poisonous. It can accrue poison in your body, and that will be horrible in the long term. So what's better is not to have medicine. So that's the number one, belief. Number 5, in Islam, pilgrimage Hajj is first compulsory. Similarly, if you have a lot of tension, then that's a problem. Most of us don't have tension in that way. That's why it's not a big problem. And number 4, zakat, the givings, right? Sacrificing. You give your money to the poor. If you don't have much money, then you need not give zakat or sacrifices, right? So similarly, zakat means sleep. Most of us have no problem with sleep. If you do not have problem with sleep, it's no problem. You should try to have sound sleep for 8 hours, or even it's all right if it is 5 hours, but it should not be below 5 hours. That's really not good for your health. But the ideal hours is 8, and the more sound sleep you have, the better it is for you, right? So number 3, that is fasting in the month of Ramadan. 1 month in 1 year, there are 12 months, but in 1 month Muslims fast. They don't have food from dawn to dusk. So the same way, what is important is that you have to take exercise. But I don't say that you need to take exercise on some conditions. If you watch, suppose you are watching this video, do not sit or lie. You walk and watch it. When you are watching television, you walk front and walk back, front and back. Don't turn back, but you walk front and back. This is how you can take exercises. And when you are, as long as you're talking over telephone, over mobile phone, what you do is you walk and talk. So when you do this, you don't need to take exercises. So number 1 is left, that is prayers. 5 times a day, prayers of compulsory in Islam. Similarly, you have to take care of food intake, right? So 2 ways. 1 way, intermittent fasting, that is you can have water fasting. I don't take food for 15 hours to 20 hours every day. I try my best to avoid food for 15 to 20 hours. So you can try, but if it is like 12 hours, then fine. At least you have to fast for 12 hours, and if it is more than that, that's better. The longer you get fasting, the better it is for you, right? This is 1 way. But 4 things you can have in fasting: water, green tea, black tea, coffee. But you should not have milk and sugar in it. If you do not have milk and sugar in your tea, coffee, green tea, then your fasting will not break, right? Your fast will not break. There will be no problem. So when you have, suppose, taken dinner at 8 o'clock, next morning at least do not have food before 8 o'clock. And if it is possible, take at 12 o'clock, take at 2 p.m. Then what happens? 16 hours, 14 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours you can fast. This is how the health will work. That is, you have a lot of jungle in your health. Metabolism system makes a lot of jungle, like sawdust. When you have planks, when you cut with saw the planks, a lot of dust is there. So when you have the metabolism system working, you will have a lot of waste, lot of dust. So to burn those dust, waste, you have to have intermittent fasting, right? And the other way is you have to have food free from sugar as much as possible. So do not take sugar directly, do not take rice, do not have bread. These are very much full of sugar. So the foods that do not contain sugar or very little sugar, or if you have a very little amount of those food, then the lifestyle will work. So when you have the proper lifestyle maintained in you, you will have all problems gone. Fistula will go away, diabetes will be in remission, things will be all fine. You will have no diseases, hopefully. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.